Good morning and welcome to Plymouth Spiritual Church. My name is Elias Hayes and I'm the president of the board. And we're the charter of the National Spiritualist Association of Churches. And we will begin this morning by standing and raising our vibration and singing our first hymn, Amazing Grace, on page 70. Everybody? Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious is that grace appeared, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already known. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we know as taste to see God's grace. And when we first begun. So in the front cover of your hymnal, you'll find the Declaration of Principles. These are not dogma nor creed. They have statement of facts that we use as guidelines in our lives. If you wish, please join me in reading these principles out loud. Number 1, we believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expressions of infinite intelligence. We affirm that the correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the exchange called death. We affirm that the communication with the so-called death is a fact scientifically proven by the phenomenon of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We affirm that the moral responsibility of individuals, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway of reformation is never closed against any soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes through belief. Awesome. Words of wisdom are being presented today by Anne Marie Devon.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This reading is from the Lyceum Manual, which was compiled by Alfred Kitson, Henry Kersey, and Emma Hardinge Britton, and first published in the UK in 1887. And it's called Remember This. 'Tis true that thoughts are living things and speed like light on angels' wings to places far apart. So, when it seems we're far away from those we love, when all the day is dull and we are sad, remember this: our thoughts are real, and each the other's soul may feel and make the other glad. If, thus by death, the ones we love should pass to higher realms above and from this earth depart, never forget that life goes on, an endless stream. And if at time we grieve or tend to sigh, remember this: the clouds will go and the sun is always there to show that joy is ever nigh. As day by day we tread our ways, still brighter grow the days which for us yet remain. For we have angel friends at hand to guide and bless. They too, like us, this life on earth have trod. So remember this: all things are planned, and one day we shall understand that love alone is God. Thank you.
That was beautiful. So this brings us to our healing portion of the service. As we begin the spiritual healing, please let us turn to the back cover of our hymnal. Here you'll find a healing prayer. Let us recite the prayer in unison. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Thank you. In the back of the church, we keep a healing list for anyone who needs any mental, physical, and spiritual healing. As I read the list, it's just in the back. I don't have it in front of me, so we'll pass it around and you can put any names that need any healing that you know of. And as we continue the healing portion of the service, I would like to invite the healers to come up front and prepare their healing chairs. So I'd like to invite you to please stand and go to hymnal, to our hymnal on page 110, and we're going to sing along to Count Our Blessings.
And you will be singing at your journey's end. Count your blessings, say them one by one. Count your blessings, say what God has done. Count your blessings, through the Lord. Count your many blessings, say what God has done.
Are you ever burdened with a load of care?
Does the cross seem heavy you are called to bear? Count your many blessings, every doubt will fly. And you name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done.
Please be seated. I'm going to introduce the speaker today, who is Tracy Murphy. She is a historian at the Fox Sisters, and she's a caretaker of Hydesville Memorial Park for over 20 years. As a young girl, Tracy would visit the property and was fascinated with the history. A spiritualist for over 30 years, when the NSAC acquired the Hydesville property and began looking for a caretaker, Tracy's husband suggested her to Reverend Cozy Allen, and the rest is history. Tracy is a member of the Newark Arcadia Historical Society and is the director of the Historic Palmyra's 5 museums. She is currently working on the Fox family genealogy and looking for the family of the peddler. And without any further ado, Tracy Murphy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Everybody can hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So that was a wonderful introduction. I think that should follow me wherever I go now. That was wonderful. By a show of hands, how many people have been to Hydesville, to the Fox property? I do see familiar faces. How many people know the story of the Fox sisters? That's good. That's wonderful. You guys unfortunately get the super condensed version because, as some people here today know, it's quite a lengthy story. It's not as quick as the family moves in and they hear the knockings and then the family moves out and the girls become famous mediums. There is a lot to the story. Last night I started thinking of ways, I think I do this every time I prepare a talk, how can I shorten it up? How can I just give the facts of what happened on that day, March 31st, 1848? And I always think modern spiritualism, very humble beginnings, began in a small hamlet called Hydesville, settled by a doctor named Henry Hyde in 1814. The wrappings were made by a peddler who told his story over and over and over again, but few could hear or wanted to listen. We know the Bell family lived in the cottage for a short while. We know the Bell family moved out. We know the Weekman family moved in, and the Weekman family moved out. And both of those families heard the wrappings. Possibly one of those families was responsible. And then the Fox family moved in. John and Margaret Fox with their 2 daughters, Maggie and Kate. Those 2 young girls heard the wrappings, entertained the wrappings, and tried to imitate. And it was on that fateful night of March 31st that Kate and Maggie Fox opened the door of communication and began talking to this unknown spirit, who eventually presented himself as the peddler, Charles Roslin. Scared at first, I'm sure they were. I would have been. They went forward. They
were told to not entertain these thoughts that were going on. They were told to ignore what was happening. And being in a small hamlet with your neighbors at your doorstep, watching every move you make, the girls were thinking, this is something special. This is something big. And for young girls in a rural community, that was probably something they never would have imagined. So here we have these two young girls communicating with spirit. Their mother decides that she's going to also try her hand at communication. She asks some very wonderful questions of this invisible wrapper. And one of them was, are you a human? Make 2 wraps. And there were no wraps. And then she asked, are you a spirit? Make 2 wraps. And it was almost immediate that they heard those 2 wraps. Now we know that the girls moved on, not as quick as we all think they did, but they were there in the cottage for a while. People came in, they thought they would be laughing at the expense of the family. But the neighbors, when they came in, they realized that, yes, they were getting their answers to questions they asked of an invisible wrapper. Although I like to call him Charles. We know that Kate and Maggie at first, very, very strong wrappings around them. And so the decision was made to possibly separate the girls for just a little while, just to see if maybe the wrappings would stop. And so Kate actually came up here to Rochester and she spent some time with her sister Lee. And Maggie and her mother stayed in Hydesville with her brother David, Maggie's brother David. And we know that when Kate came up here, the wrappings continued. They followed her. And we know that when Maggie went to her brother David's house, the wrappings continued and they followed her. After a while, their mother decided that it would be in their best interest to get back together again. And so she brought Maggie up here to Rochester. And really, that's when more recognition happened. People were lining up outside of Lee's home and wanting to see the demonstration of communication. And so the girls would have small circles and have seances, and they would show the demonstration of communication. And one of the messages that was received through Kate was that this was not only the peddler communicating, but it was also our loved ones who still lived and they still loved and they were watching over us. And I think that's something that even today, 175 years later, gives us a sense of reassurance. And it makes me kind of happy and gives me reassurance to know that there is no death. There are no dead. In July of 2022, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. And when you first hear that word, you think, wow, my life is over. This is it. But I wasn't really scared. And I don't know what it is that makes me keep going and look forward and do what I do. One of the first things I did was lay down my bed and did Reiki on myself. And, you know, chemo was bad. It's bad. I'm not going to lie. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't horrible. Now, if you had talked to me yesterday, I actually had more hair yesterday than I had today. Who knew 3 weeks ago my last chemo treatment would have taken all my hair again? Hey, it works in mysterious ways. But for me, you know, I went through 14 weeks of chemo. I had surgery in February, the first week of February. I had surgery. And even the surgery wasn't that bad. And now I'm gearing up for radiation. Tomorrow starts radiation, and that's going to be for 6 weeks. And even then, it's an inconvenience. And that's what I see it as, an inconvenience. But I also think back to my connection to the Fox property and the things that the girls had to go through, their trials, their tribulations, people looking at them and thinking, no way, no way, can't be possible. But here I am, and it's possible. And some days I feel better than others. And some days I just want to put my head down and cry. But I'm here, and I think there's a reason. And I think 175 years ago, there was a reason why these two little girls heard the knockings and literally opened the door to spirit communication and gave us what we have today. And I thank you guys for having me.
So I invite you to stand to turn to page 155 in your hymnal, and we'll be singing In the Garden.
I come to the garden alone, where the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of his voice is so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with him, though the night around me be falling. But he bids me go with a voice of woe. His voice to me is calling. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share
Please be seated. We have come to the message portion of our service. This is where our message ministers bring you spirit greeting. These are spirit greetings, not readings. Their purpose is to prove the continuity of life. As the message ministers come to you, they may ask to hear your sound of the voice, keeps this connection of spirit going with them. And please, and they'll simply say, your name, and if you don't want a reading, you don't have to have one. You can say no too. But a simple please or thank you is all that is required. So please take these greetings with love and light. And remember that spirit cannot live your life for you. And you must make your own decisions on your pathway.
What shall I do? Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, before I sit down, could I just say thank you very much for the invitation to serve here. It's made me feel very humble and very honoured. Thank you.
We're grateful. Well, we're very grateful that the National came today, and everybody that was in attendance has been very welcoming, and lifting our vibrations has been very beautiful. So as we close today, I wish to thank our healers, our speaker, message ministers, and especially all for you coming today. Of course, it's because of all of you that we keep our doors open. Spiritual, physical, mental, and everything that we do in our life. So now I'd like to do a closing hymn, and I ask you to open up to page 203, which is Amazing Grace. You know what? What's that? Let's do the closing hymn 203, which is Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God, our Creator, children are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my song now. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Remain standing for our benediction and say thank you, God, for our blessings of abundance. Thank you for helping us spread love and light, keeping us on the path of success, showing us the truth always, giving us the strength to carry on for our material things, our spiritual things, and all that we are creating. Amen.
Fellowship is downstairs today.
Right. All right. Thank you very much, everybody.